Alright fellas, welcome back to episode 2 of the Raid, Shadow Legends Beginner Series. We're turning it up today, because this is the part where your account actually starts cooking. We're going to talk about how to upgrade your very first level 60 champion in the smartest, most efficient way possible. We're finally going to break down those mysterious chickens I mentioned back in episode 1. What they are, where to find them, and why they're basically the secret sauce to powering up your roster. Plus, we're stepping into the Tavern, which is hands down one of the most important spots in the entire game. And of course, I've got some cheeky tips and tricks sprinkled in so you don't waste time like a noob. Now, if you skipped episode 1, come on man, that's like showing up late to the party and asking why everyone's already dancing. In episode 1, we broke down which starter champ is actually worth your time, your first week goals, and even how to snag Tholin Faulbeard. Yeah, a straight-up legendary, completely free with the promo code DemonSlayer. That's not clickbait, that's a W waiting for you. And hey, don't make your life harder than it has to be. If you download Raid through my first link in the description, you'll grab all those insane freebies right from the jump. That way, you can roll through the early campaign stages flexing, instead of crying while your weak squad gets slapped around. But alright, enough setup. Let's dive into the good stuff before I catch one of y'all feeding chickens to the wrong champion. Let's go. So here's the plan, boys. In this part, we're locking in on upgrading your champions the smart way, while also grinding through the normal campaign mode. Balance is key here, because if you do it right, you're getting double the value for the same amount of playtime. First goal? Unlock the Tavern. That's your main upgrade hub. And to even get there, you gotta hit player level 6. Simple way to do it? Just push through the campaign on normal difficulty. That grind is gonna carry you straight there. But before we hop into campaign, let's give our champs a little juice. You probably got those lifesteal artifacts lying around. Way better than those trash starter pieces the tutorial gives you. Don't even stress about stats right now. None of that matters this early. Just slap them on, upgrade them to around level 10, and boom, you've got some staying power. Start with Kael. My guy's a beast and deserves the gear first. Then throw the same setup on Tholin Faulbeard, because we're rolling with both of them into campaign. And trust me, once they're geared and leveled up a bit, they're gonna absolutely steamroll those early stages like it's target practice. That's all we need for now. Just enough upgrades to give our squad that extra edge on the battlefield without wasting resources. Alright, once that's done, time to jump into campaign mode and start smacking things around. So, before we dive too deep into campaign mode, here's the first checkpoint. We need to get Kael to level 30. That's the magic number, because at 30, you can upgrade him into a 4-star champion, and that's step 1 on the road to your first level 60. Now, long term, my second 60 is definitely going to be Tholin Faulbeard. But let's be real, he needs to hit level 50 before we can even think about upgrading him. And yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. Still, I like to start laying the groundwork early, because every bit of progress counts. Here's the plan. Run campaign with Kael as your leader and add in 2 other champs as what we call food champions. And don't overthink it. Food champs are literally just throwaway characters you'll eventually feed into your main guys at the Tavern. That's the whole point. They're XP fodder. But here's the catch. If you look closely before starting a campaign stage, there are rules tied to getting those 3 stars. And why does that matter? Because if you scroll down, you'll see a pile of free rewards locked behind star milestones. And trust me, as a beginner, that stuff is gold. Missing out on it is basically throwing loot away. So, my focus right now is simple. Get Kael to level 30, first 60 champ in the making. Start feeding XP to Tholin Faulbeard on the side. Grab as many stars as possible while pushing campaign. The way I'm doing it, I'm rolling in with just Kael and Tholin Faulbeard. Why? Because to hit that 3-star condition, you need to clear with 2 or fewer champions. And since I've already got some extra freebies from downloading through that link, it makes sense to flex them right here. So yeah, I'm grinding straight up with these 2 until Kael hits 30. Along the way, we'll unlock some new champs. Some decent, some complete trash. And of course, we'll finally unlock the Tavern, which is where things start getting fun. Let's grind it out. Hit that milestone, and then I'll break down the next step for you. After hitting level 10 on your new account, you'll actually snag another free epic champion, Lightsworn, straight from your loot box. Easy win right there. Now, fast forward, we've grinded through campaign, pushed hard, and finally got Kael to level 30. Mission complete. And since we've been running Tholin Faulbeard alongside him, he's already sitting at level 29. So yeah, we're more than halfway to his big level 50 grind. Progress feels good, not gonna lie. Along the way, we pulled some new champions. And let's be real, some of them are straight trash, bench warmers at best. But a few of them? Super valuable right now. Why? Because these are the food champions we're gonna sacrifice to rank up Kael from a 3-star to a 4-star champion. So here's the move. Crack open one more shard, pull a fresh 3-star, and boom, that's the last piece of food we need. Now, I'll be honest, at this point, I don't even care what I'm pulling. I'm just hunting for bodies to feed. Brutal. But hey, survival of the fittest out here. But let's say you don't want to sacrifice your other champs. Maybe you've grown attached, maybe you're hoarding, whatever. That's where the chickens come in. Yeah, those chickens I wouldn't shut up about in episode 1. This is why they're so valuable. They're basically universal food tokens. You can use them to rank up your champion without sacrificing another champion. That's why I kept saying, don't sleep on chickens, man. They're game changers. So let's head over to the tavern, dump these food champs into Kael, and take him from a 3-star to a 4-star right now. That's what I'm talking about. Now, from here, if you want to keep pushing Kael further, you'll need to grind him up to level 40. And honestly, that's where I recommend putting all your focus. Kael is just too valuable. Even after running him alongside a legendary like Tholin Faulbeard, this rare champ was going toe-to-toe, blow for blow. So imagine his power once you get him to level 60. I'll let your imagination run wild on that one. Alright, one more pro tip before we close this out. Don't waste your gems in the store. Seriously, resist that itch. Gems are like the premium currency in Raid. They're way too valuable to just blow on random stuff early on. There are much smarter ways to spend them, and trust me, you'll thank yourself later when you've got a fat stack ready to make real upgrades. And yo, while we were grinding campaign to level Kael, we actually unlocked a bunch of new content. Arena opened up, so PvP is now on the table. Clan bosses unlocked, one of the best long-term grinds for loot. And we even got access to the Guardian Ring, which is a super handy spot to level up champions passively. All of these are huge, but I'm not going to dump it all at once. We'll break those down properly in the next episode. For now, the mission is clear. We've got Kael up to 4 stars, and the goal is to keep pushing him higher until he becomes our first level 60 champion. Running right beside him is my legendary boy Tholin Faulbeard. That's my duo right now. And yeah, don't forget, we've also got another free legendary, Elenaril, from the sign-up rewards. She's an absolute monster too, and definitely worth leveling. But personally, I'm keeping my main focus on Kael and Tholin for now. Elenaril will join the squad later for sure. Plus, the freebies keep coming. Vergis at level 20, Tagoar at level 30. So yeah, we've got a lot of power waiting to come out of those milestone rewards. This roster is only getting stronger, boys. Alright, I think that's a solid stopping point for this video. But hold up, before you bounce, let me give you a sneak peek of what's coming in the next episode of this beginner series. We're diving deep into the arena, we're gonna break down the Guardian Ring, and yeah, maybe even look at joining a clan or creating one of our own. Haven't decided yet, but it's on the table. On top of that, we'll keep pushing the grind, leveling up Kael even further, grabbing a few more champions along the way, and if things go our way, we might just take him from 4-star to 5-star. That's the plan. We'll see how far we can push it. So yeah, episode 3 is going to be stacked. You don't want to miss that one. And that's a wrap for episode 2 of the Raid Shadow Legends Beginner Series. We got Kael to 4 stars, started building up Tholin Faulbeard, finally explained the whole chicken situation. And yeah, the grind is looking good right now. Now don't forget, if you still haven't jumped into Raid yet, make sure you download it using my first link in the description. That's how you grab all those free goodies. I'm talking about Tholin Faulbeard, Elenaril, Lightsworn, and more, all waiting for your run. Trust me, it's the best way to get ahead so you don't get stuck crawling through those early stages. Episode 3 is coming up next, and that one's gonna be fire. arena breakdown, guardian ring, clan talk, and maybe even pushing Kael up to a 5-star. So stay tuned, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and of course ring that bell so you don't miss it. All right, boys, I'm out. Catch you in the next one.